hidden charge is quietly draining your CFD account. 25% a year. And most traders have no idea it exists. It's not the spread, it's not a commission, and it's hitting your account every single night your positions stay open. I'm going to show you exactly what it is, how much it's costing you, and what you can do about it. What you pay me now in your time, I'll more than repay you by saving you hundreds, possibly thousands of pounds. Hi, I'm Matt. I worked in finance in London for 15 years, and I hold the Chartered Financial Analyst qualification. Let's go. So what actually is this charge? The whole point of a CFD is that it's leveraged. You don't front all the cash yourself. When you open a CFD position, you borrow most of it from the broker. That's what margin trading means. You take a position in the market at a fraction of the cost without paying all of it. And whenever you borrow money, there's a cost. The broker isn't doing you a favour. They're charging you for it every single night your positions stay open. And what most people don't realise is that it isn't calculated on the money that you borrow, but it's calculated on the full notional value, the total exposure of the position. So if you've got a £200 margin controlling a £1,000 position, then the overnight fee is calculated on the £1,000, not the 800 that you've borrowed. And another thing, as the stock price rises, the notional value of your long position increases, which means the overnight charge increases too. You're essentially paying a borrowing fee on your profit.
Say what?
Yeah, I know. If you have no idea what any of that means, and you currently have open CFD positions, then I'm doing you a favour right now by telling you to close all of them until you do, because it means you don't fully understand the product, and more importantly, you don't understand the risks. As for short positions, they come with their own borrowing costs on top, but we'll touch on that later. And if you're sitting here thinking, well, I close my positions before 10 p.m. every day, this doesn't apply to me.
Stick around.
Well said, Arnie. Because commissions aside, there's a cost baked into every single trade when you open and close it. Let's go through an example. I'm going to use Nvidia because it's popular. Find the stock, 3 dots, instrument details, and you'll see the overnight rate sitting right here. Looks tiny, right? It's a small daily percentage. It's easy to ignore. But watch what happens when you convert it to a yearly number. So take this number here, multiply it by 365, boom, there it is. Over 25% a year. The interest rate has 2 parts, at least it should do as other brokers apply it. First, there's the standard market rate, the going rate for borrowing money in whatever currency the stock is priced in. Think of it like a base cost that you can't avoid. Second, on top of that, the broker adds an extra amount. And that's one way that they make money on your CFD positions. Now let's look at an index, the S&P 500. Same process. Pull up the instrument details, find the daily rate, annualize it. Here we go. Around 5% a year. Significantly lower than the stock CFD. Why is that? Trading 212's index CFDs are priced off the nearest dated futures contract. Don't worry about what that bit means. Just know the pricing structure is fundamentally different to a stock CFD, which is why the rate is lower. But take it from me, 5% a year is still expensive for index futures CFDs. And we'll see just how expensive when we look at the broker comparison table in a minute. Now, Trading 212 claims to use the same pricing structure, market rate plus uplift. They even describe their uplift in their help centre as a fixed markup applied per instrument type. Well, I decided to check this myself across a load of stock CFDs priced in different currencies. The rates are the same, meaning they're not applying market rate plus static uplift. In fact, they don't tell you how they calculate it at all. Trading 212 hides the markup inside that daily figure. Looks like they just picked out a bingo number and went with it.
Duck and dive 25.
So how do we calculate it? Take the notional value of your position, multiply it by the interest rate. Simples. Let me put that in money terms for you. Say you've got a £1,000 exposure in Nvidia. At 25% a year, that's costing you £250 annually in overnight financing for one position. A diversified portfolio should have at least 20 stocks. The cost then balloons to £5,000 a year, more than £400 a month. And that's the same increase as some people's mortgage payments this year, only you're not getting a house out of it. Refer to my last video, link above. So all your stock positions need to appreciate by 25% a year just to break even. And don't forget, as ridiculous as it is, you're charged on the full notional value. If Nvidia's price rises, start making money, Trading 212 just takes it back because the nightly charge goes up too. You're paying borrowing costs on your profits. So why are they charging so much? Remember, trading 212 is commission free, no account fees, no custody charges, and that is genuinely great. But the CFD business is a completely different story. Overnight financing, as well as FX fees on leveraged positions, is where they make their money. They've deliberately kept overnight charges off the FAQ pages. Other brokers, including IG, CMC and Pepperstone, openly publish their formulae. Their admin markup sit between 2.5% and 3% on top of the standard market rate. Stock CFDs and trading 212 have an implied markup of over 20%. I mean, you might as well take out a credit card and buy shares with it. Don't do that. Adding insult to injury, if you take out a short position right now, you should actually be paid to keep that position open. Yes, you heard me correctly. Brokers should be paying you to hold open short positions. Not the case with trading 212. The annualised cost for shorts is around 9%, when Pepperstone and CMC are giving you a rebate instead, albeit small. So trading 212 charges you every night regardless of direction. You could call it opportunistic pricing. I call it taking the piss. Right, enough T212 bashing, because I actually like the platform. It's very easy to use. I'm not hating on them, just don't trade CFDs through them. Let's talk about the competition. The point of this video is to show you what you could be paying elsewhere. I spent time on 4 platforms: T212, IG, Pepperstone and CMC Markets. All FCA-regulated, blah, 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 blah. I picked out 4 US stock CFDs: Nvidia, Tesla, Chevron, Coca-Cola. Let's start with the long rates because that's what most people do. Trading 212, been through that, over 25% a year. All stocks, same rate. Their markup isn't published. Pepperstone, 6.27%. CMC, 6.66%. And I can tell you now, these 2 rates reconcile with what they say on their websites. The math checks out. You can verify it for yourself if you really want to. IG doesn't show rates on the platform, not that I could see anyway, but I could be blind. According to their website though, they charge the market rate plus 2.5% to 3% depending on the contract. So pretty much in line with Pepperstone and CMC. I didn't check out other brokers' platforms, but let me know in the comments below if you want me to do that. Now the shorts. Pepperstone and CMC are currently paying out on short positions. Pepperstone crediting 1.2% a year, CMC crediting 26 bips. Why is that? Well, when you short, you effectively borrow a stock, sell it in the market and receive cash. That cash earns interest that you should be receiving. After deducting fees in the current economic environment, there should be a rebate back to you. Stock borrowing charges also reduce that slightly, which is why the figures are a little lower than the formula would suggest, but you should receive something. How about shorting on trading 212? Charging you over 9% a year on all stocks. I love digging into details of things, so I could go on. There are far more things to consider when trading, and let's just say that each broker has its own opaqueness. So what should you actually do with all of this? 3 things. Number 1, ask yourself how long you plan on holding positions. Will it be weeks, months, or longer? How frequently do you think you'll trade? Do you plan on trading it once and keeping it as part of a portfolio, or trading in and out of the stock trying to time it? Depending on your intentions, you might want to consider spreads and commissions over the financing rates. Number 2, if you do plan on holding positions for weeks or months, the overnight charge can cripple you depending on who you use. So you must compare brokers. The links to the ones I tested are in the description below. No affiliation. I just want you to keep more of your money. And before you open any CFD position on any platform, know the overnight rate. Convert it to a yearly rate by multiplying the daily interest by 365. Know what you're committing to. And you have the spread to consider as well, which brings us to number 3. This is for day traders. Here's what I promised you earlier. Even if you never hold positions overnight and you exit positions each day, you're still paying a spread every single time you open and close a position. You're racking up invisible fees every trading day. Here's a table I think you might find interesting. Look at the spreads as a percentage of the stock price. Now multiply that by 250, the rough number of trading days in a year. See, nothing is free. Look at the percentages. Brokers these days tend to have tight spreads, but they can be fixed. The lower the price of the stock, the more you're paying relative to the value of your trade. Close and reopen the same position every day for a year, and that spread compounds into something quite meaningful, but far less obvious than a nightly charge. If you're trading CFDs and you didn't know about its charge until today, ask yourself honestly whether you fully understand the product. The longer you hold, the more the cost erodes your position value. And the overnight charge is the mechanism that enforces that. Understanding costs is the bare minimum before you put your money at risk. More important is the leverage aspect. CFDs do have legitimate uses, but they're like fire. If you don't understand and respect them, you will get burnt. If this video has made you reconsider which broker you're using, then good. The links to the brokers we've compared today are in the description, as I said earlier. I have no affiliation with them. I just want you to save more of your money. Drop a comment below with the broker that you use and what overnight rate you're seeing on your platform. And if you think there's a broker that you want me to add that I haven't compared, then let me know and I'll update the table. Hopefully I saved you some money. If I have, please consider subscribing. Really helps me out and it lets the algo know that there's value in this video. I'll see you in a bit.